We are on. All right, welcome back, man. Welcome back. We're back, Donnie.
We are back. We are back. We are back with our second edition of our brand new series, Brain Picker Podcast. Yo, the first one was super lit.
Absolutely. First off, what you got on your neck, though? You know what I mean?
Oh, you know
Tell
what
me
I
what's happening right now. What is really going on right now?
Can you guys see? Can you guys see? David iced me
It's happening.
out.
It's happening right now, man. I'm really excited about today. This gentleman is a seven-figure entrepreneur. He's got a seven-figure business already.
Yeah.
Already. So
Part-time.
Part-time. Listen, without getting into a story, let's bring my brother up, man. Coach Cav. What's happening, brother? How you feeling?
I'm well, Dave and Donnie. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. Happy to have you, my brother. We're going to jump straight into this thing, man. But in the meantime, if you can kind of tell us a little bit about your business model and, what you're struggling with. What are you looking forward to? But you got to introduce yourself right. As active military, we both want to say thank you.
Absolutely.
It's challenging enough to build a seven-figure business, but you're about to kill all the excuses that all these people have when they say, like building it itself, you're a full-time entrepreneur, but you got a job too. So go ahead and introduce yourself, brother, and we're going to get into it.
Thanks. Thanks for the warm welcome, team. I'm Alvin Cavalier. I go by Cav, sometimes Coach Cav. Don't do much coaching, but it rhymes, so we decided to keep it, right? I'm active duty military. I've been in the military for about 20 years. I've done a lot of fun things, and I currently instruct, but we build games for a living, at least in my current occupation. My business and company, Your Space, we provide a pretty unique service, in my estimate, for busy professionals and investors, where we package and provide turnkey Airbnb investment opportunities for investors. And the way we do that is we take all the administrative overhead, so all of the things that are typically required to get started in the Airbnb. How do I find a landlord? How do I approach an apartment complex? Am I going to be permitted legally? What are insurance requirements, utilities required? We do it all for you. We also have 5 professional interior design teams that go out to each of our properties. They do the tech install, they do the design as well as the tech install, hand the football off to the management team, and then we provide all the back end stuff. So all your day-to-day stuff, your guest communications, the leaky pipe at 2 a.m. in the morning, and making sure your profiles managed professionally across any major platform that it can be listed on to maximize your revenue. So when you put that together, what we do is essentially provide investors and busy professionals with a do-it-for-you service that eliminates the need for coaching programs, for webinars, for 6-month-long courses, because we essentially take care of it in less than a couple of weeks.
So I have a question, just for clarity. I come to you and say, Alvin, I want to park my money somewhere and I want to make some money in the Airbnb space. Mm-hmm. I give you the money to find the Airbnb in my city, I'd imagine. Yes?
No, we have our own inventory. So
Gotcha.
You take a look at what we currently have.
Gotcha. So I take a look at what you currently have, and you go in there and you set up the lease. Who signs the lease? Me or you?
My company.
Your company signs the lease. I pay you. You get the Airbnb. You furnish it. You put it on your Airbnb platform. You rent it out. And I make money every month on my investment.
Correct. Without taking up any more of your 1,440 minutes of your day.
I like that. And what is the cost basis? Like, how much does this cost?
It really depends. So we just had an investment go in Nashville, Tennessee for $60,000, whereas we had apartments in San Antonio go for as low as $18,000. Markets matter. The size of the home matters. Interior design spec matters. and then investor input. You may want a luxury feel in your place, which is going to contribute to your budget, where some investors may go with the interior designer's recommendation based on their budget, and we make it work.
Gotcha. Okay. So it all depends. Like there's no set cost. It's gonna be about, I guess, which city your inventory's in and how high level I want to go. Correct? Gotcha. And is this for a year? Is it how like what is the duration?
Right. So we do all of our contracts in three-year increments. Right. The 12-month model doesn't work because it doesn't give you enough time to recoup your investment, especially if you're furnishing an apartment or a home. There's just not enough lead time. So we contract out 36 months at a minimum, and then investors get a chance to move that out to 5 years at the end of that 3-year term.
Gotcha. Okay. And so for 3 years, I'd like to know how what is the rate of return? Typically, do you have do you guarantee a certain amount or what?
So ideally, investors are seeing their principal back within 12 to 15 months, and then we've got 18 to 24 months on the back end to profit. So
I'm sorry, I'm seeing the invest back when? I'm sorry.
12 to 15 months ideally.
Okay. So I'll get the investment back in 12 to 15 months. Okay, got it. If I want to re-up, we do the same amount in 3 years, correct?
No. You stay in at a small admin fee because the train's already moving, right? There's no need to kill the bank again with an investment. So it's just a small admin fee for investors to stay in the contract.
That's dope. Donnie, got anything? Questions?
Yeah, so this is really a low risk, low barrier of entry for the new business owner to get into Airbnb. So all of the people who are worried about, I don't know where to find the property, I maybe don't have the credit to get into the property, dealing with directly with the property management companies, your company and your business model overcomes all of those objectives.
Right, and the reason we do that is because investors spend a significant amount of money in some cases to take on these investments, and we're okay with the risk with our company. And as we say it, we assume the risk based on our market research analysis because we will hold the property regardless if it goes to an investor or not. We're confident that it'll do well. So we're okay with maintaining all the administrative overhead that allows investors to come in passively.
Okay. And what main markets in terms of cities are you located in right now?
30 markets to include 2 provinces in Canada, Saskatchewan, if you can say that, in Calgary. But 30 other markets across the U.S.
Okay, so you're all over, and with the potential, I guess, to expand to other markets as well throughout the U.S.?
Absolutely. We're adding about a market or two every 2 months, I'd say.
All right. Well, let's get into it, Coach. Let us dig into what we can help you with today. So we understand the business model. This is essentially what's happening right now that I like to call a business in a box. It's like we have figured everything out for the client. All you have to do is come in with the right amount of cash, go through the process of determining what your preferences are, luxury, family style, maybe theme styled, or whatever the case may be. And then your team handles the rest. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So what's question number 1?
So question number 1 would be under the framework of the business, the process. So sort of explain what we do. Now I want to take you on the investor journey. So you're interested as an investor, you'll see a text turnkey to this number. You text into that number, you get an automated message that gives you an investor packet to download, as well as a video that gives you an overview, and then you're interested in the investment. From there, we've got a come in, schedule a call to make sure you're comfortable with the data that's being presented to you. And then from there, once investors are committed, we get them a service contract and an invoice, and then get them into their property. The work required from building the investment packet through that portion of it, it's a very manual process. I would like to know how we can better, with either tools, resources, or people, improve that to make it more efficient, a more efficient process for the business, and also a more seamless process for the investors. Because sometimes folks will text in, and with a community of over almost 1,000 folks texting when there's interest in the deal, something's going to get missed, right? Text won't be answered for a few days, and it sort of leads to some inefficiencies within the business.
Understood. So I want to make sure I understand all of the parties involved. So we have your company as the company, right? And
Yes.
you have the portfolio of properties. The investor that we're speaking about, the investor being the person who is taking possession of the Airbnb, or the investor being one of the individuals who are raising capital to secure for your company the Airbnb, or both?
It would be the investor that's interested at this point in securing the deal.
Okay. So right now, as it stands, your company finds the property and says, this is it. And then now that we have the property, let's go out and find investors that want to take possession of this Airbnb. And the way that you're doing, I'm guessing, are you using like bootleg signs? How are people getting to that text message?
Instagram, Facebook ads, as well as just a consistent presence on Instagram. And then, a lot of it's word of mouth, because we're partnered with, in some capacity, a couple of multifamily syndications, who then pass what we're doing out through their networks of investors.
Okay. And what platform are you using right now for your text message?
It's the community app.
Yeah, all bad. So that's problem number one. I get it now. Okay, so you're completely overwhelmed with receiving these text messages and having to manually respond to them. So when people are saying, "Hey, I'm interested. I like this property. I'm interested in discussing the terms of the Airbnb," what are their instructions right now exactly? Text this number to do what?
So they'll text a keyword, whether it's turnkey or Nashville, or whatever, to that number. That will then generate for them two links. One, it'll give them a turnkey overview where I talk a little bit about what we do for them in this process. And then the second link will have a downloadable PDF file that they'll get a chance to take a look at all of our current investment opportunities.
Okay. And so they text that, and I want to really get deep so I can help you with this process. So they're texting you the keyword. The keyword is specific to the property that they have interest in, the exact property. So you said turnkey, and then you said Nashville. Those are two very different keywords.
Because it depends. If we're just running a story or something on Instagram on a Tuesday of the day of the week, then it's going to say text turnkey, because it'll get them into the community. But if we're running a teaser for a specific property, that specific property will have a keyword attached to it.
So when we're texting turnkey just means, hey, I'm interested generally in potentially doing business, not necessarily on a specific property.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And then otherwise, the other option is to say Nashville, Atlanta, and then your team knows that they're interested in these specific properties.
Right, because community segregates the keywords that you create into a specific community.
Right. So now once we have them off the app and they get these two links, they text the keyword and now they get these two links, the overview link and then the link that's almost like a show and tell, a testimonial. This is everything that we've done in our portfolio. In the overview link, what are we overviewing?
It's a video of me talking a little bit about what we do, my interior designers that just finished a recent project in Atlanta, as well as one of the investors, or the investor for that particular project. She was also interviewed and
Okay. And so then after they see this video, then what's the next step?
Think.
gave a little bit of one.
Yeah, I think I lost you for a second. Go ahead. You're back. You're back. You're good. Go for it.
All right, Coach. After they see the
Where'd he
video
go?
of you, they go,
Oh no.
oh no, we lost him. He'll be back.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
All
Hold on,
right.
guys. Coming back. Coming back. Let me get you. All right, you're back. Welcome back.
There we go. Okay. So after, Coach, they click the link, they watch the video, what's the next step?
So after that, they'll get a chance to look at the investment packet. Inside the investment packet, it has a what's next. So if you're interested, text back in the app, and we'll get you either a link to schedule a call, or just indicate your interest, and then we'll follow up.
All right. So that's the one that's the one gap that we have right there. So once we've taken them out of the app, we don't want to put them back into the app, the community app.
Okay.
We want to have them watch the overview video, and once we're interested, go straight to book a call, right? So what you want to take them to is a book a call funnel. Let me ask you this. What are you using as a CRM to store all of your leads?
That's a great question. So the community app, one, and then Constant Contacts, two. The PDF file that's linked, which is the second link in the automated text, it brings them to Constant Contacts, where it prompts them to enter their email address. It stores it in there, and then they get a chance to download the investment packet.
Okay, so Constant Contact isn't one of my favorite providers for email marketing. I would recommend, just because of the campaign build out functionality right now that you'll need, I recommend, number one, that you switch over to Active Campaign. And it's probably going to save you some money. Were you going to say you've tried that?
Active Campaign.
Yeah. I'm going to recommend that you switch to Active Campaign. It's a really powerful yet extremely affordable CRM that allows you to manage your leads, but their ability to segment, list, and market and build campaigns is so simple and so user-friendly. Constant Contact is a little bit more difficult and a little less intuitive in terms of its sophistication on what the things that you can do. So number one, we want to store the leads in Active Campaign. It's one of the best. Number two, you're going to need to build out what's called a book a call funnel. Okay. And a book a call funnel is where are you building your sales funnels right now? Are you using like a ClickFunnels, or were you doing that through Constant Contact or something like that?
No, there are no sales funnels.
There are no sales funnels. All right. So we got a couple of things that we have to do right now. Number one, I want you to switch your CRM over to Active Campaign, start sending leads and storing leads there. Number two, we are going to need to build out a sales funnel or a book a call funnel. And I'm curious, if you are running ads right now, what you're running ads to.
No ads. It's all organic.
All organic.
Yes.
Okay, good stuff. So you'll need a system called ClickFunnels. This is just one of my favorites. You can do some research and find others, but ClickFunnels is pretty much suitable for your business. This is going to allow you to book a funnel where that same video that you're taking people to, we can now set up some automations. We can integrate ClickFunnels with your calendar. We can integrate ClickFunnels with your even with Community. It's very limited because Community only has very limited automation features, right? So there'll still be some manual things that you do inside of that app, but you'll integrate your ClickFunnels with your Active Campaign, your Community, and anything else that we're using. Now, let me just tell you that I'm speaking in a bunch of technical and systematic terms right now. I don't recommend that you personally do any of these things. I recommend instead that you get someone to do that. So if you email me back, I'll send you a reference period for building out your funnel, because we want to automate this as much as possible. So when you have people texting in keywords, they are then going to be able to respond. They're going to get the link that's going to send them to your funnel. The funnel is going to be an amazing, well done, well produced video of you that says, hey, I'm Alvin. This is what I do. Okay, this is what we offer. You click this link. You are here because you saw X, Y, and Z and you want to do business. Now, here is a link of, or here's a listing of all of our portfolios right now. If you are actively interested in becoming an investor and doing X, Y, and Z, here's the link to book a call. They're going to click that link. They're going to book the call, and that appointment is going to end up automatically on your appointment. The end. Okay, so now we have kind of gotten rid of the manual part of the scheduling. Then there's even more that you can do on the back end, which is why I love Active Campaign, because we don't want to be calling people from our cell phones. Why? Because that's not scalable. We can't document or automate the process to our personal cell phones. So you're going to want to get some type of a calling system. You'll want to get the one that I personally use is a system called justcall.io. JUSTCALL.io. Really, really reasonable. And what that will allow you to do, you're going to want to go through their onboarding process to really learn how to use the platform. But that's going to allow you to then take a call from these leads, and you'll be able to disposition the call, meaning they're ready to go to the next step. They want to actively become an investor. It'll tag their profile, and you'll now have an active investor list. Or they were interested but don't have the money. We can create then a different type of marketing campaign for people that we want to kind of nurture while they're getting the money. Whatever the disposition is, they didn't answer, they need follow-up, whatever it is. So you've got 3 systems, I believe, right away that we want to get. And I'm going to review that really quickly and let you and kind of let you insert your thoughts right there. So the first thing that we want to get is Active Campaign for emails. The second thing that we want to get is ClickFunnels to actually build out a funnel. The third thing that we want to get is your scheduling software. You can use several of them. I use a software called Schedule Once, but you can also use Acuity, ACUITY. You'll need the scheduling software. Book a call, and then you'll need, I believe, Active Campaign, ClickFunnels, scheduling software. I believe and then a calling platform. Call platform. Those are going to be the most generic things that you can do right now to automate 90% of the stuff that you're doing manually.
Okay.
All right.
I've got everything noted here.
Wheels are spinning.
Excuse me?
I see that your wheels are spinning. So tell me where I lost you or where we need to go next.
No, I'm thinking at least, parallelly in a parallel process to what we have in place based on what you just outlined. Some of the systems we do have. I think we still have a ClickFunnels subscription. It's been there, so we'll just have to get back in there. Is Calendly an option?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we do have Calendly. Okay, so the other question for you would be, with this great information, by the way, what I've found, and one of the reasons why I think we take so many phone calls is because the process to get an investor to truly understand what we do isn't very transparent from a video or an ad. There always seems to be questions, and then there's the trust element out there that what I've valued over time is the ability to connect with people by talking to them personally about what they're getting ready to invest in, to get them over that fear, if you call it that. So how would you take that and integrate that into this process?
Yeah, so that's exactly why you have to take them straight to this book a call funnel. This is considered a high ticket investment for the investor, right? Anything really over $1,000, it is suitable to get someone on a phone call because people don't really, unless it's your warm market, your cold market isn't eager to put that money out there without talking to a person on the phone. So you definitely want to get them on the phone, and that just needs to be a standard part of the process where a call is required. Now, once you start going through the calls and you understand the script, you understand exactly what the information is that you want to share and what's necessary. So we're going to start documenting some things. We're going to start documenting the questions that people are asking over and over and over again and integrate that into our sales script or our call script. Once we understand that, then we can automate even further in the future, just to paint a picture of what that looks like. And you can likely sell this through a webinar and eliminate some of the call. Now, I am going to say, I'm just going to take a guess here, Alvin, and say you're probably not the person that needs to be on the call with these interested investors because you have a very matter of fact tone. Okay. And it doesn't translate amongst the masses when we are looking to appeal to investors. So if there's someone else on the team that is just a little bit more bubbly or that can take the call, I would recommend that. Or implementing a sales team where you'll have to go out and hire people on commission. If they sell, you pay them a percentage. If they don't sell, they don't get paid anything. So it doesn't cost you money. But you absolutely need to have sales calls. I would write down your top 5 most frequently asked questions.
Okay.
And I would also write down the top 5 most common pain points associated to a new investor starting an Airbnb business from scratch. And that's where you start with the sales script. But again, if you email me, I can give you some more direct resources as well.
Okay. So I laugh when you say that because I guess I get it a lot. The military background and just being used to a certain way of life and presentation. It just spills over, right?
I get it. I get it.
Pretty funny.
My stepfather is military. He has a very matter of fact tone. My mom is also, but she doesn't have so much of a matter of fact tone. But I've trained thousands of salespeople at this point, so I kind of know what works and what doesn't. And in this particular industry, because you're likely working with beginners, you're going to have a lot of people asking you a lot of questions, and I can already hear that you're going to be, your tone is more like, look, sir, get to the point. And here we need to just nurture just a little bit because, again, this is a high ticket investment and we want to build the know, like, and trust factor.
Noted. All right. So
Are you the person on the calls right now? Are you on the calls right now?
I do take a majority of the calls. So I take care of a lot of just the overhead, at least for the company. I secure all the leases because they go in my company's name. I'll take all the initial investor calls, and then everything then's handed off to my operations team.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let me say that real quick, David, if I can. You're perfect for that role. You are perfect for negotiating the behind the scenes business, securing the contracts, negotiating the lease, whether it's corporate or this, that, and the other, finding the property, dealing with the corporate partners that you'll be working with. You are perfect for that role because you mean business, right? But I want you to strongly consider on the other side of getting people to prepare to invest in your business model. Let's get someone else in that seat quickly.
All right. Now, not lost on me. And I think, as I mentioned, likely moving over to Germany. So with that on the horizon, probably even more of a need, right? Because of the time difference to make sure there's some efficiency in this. So,
how big is your team now?
Uh, it depends on who you ask and what day, right? Because we've got a core, which is about 7, and then we've got a robust virtual assistance team. But all of our VAs that work, all of our interior designers that work with us, to include our photographer, folks that are outsourced, not your space employees, but they're there with every project. So if we count all those folks in, you can say we're probably somewhere about 20 deep.
So what is the list you think of people that you need in your core team? Just thinking through like the things that Donnie said, and you may not be the one to implement that, right? But maybe you have somebody on your team that can implement that, and they can go back and watch this YouTube for sure. Who do you think you're missing, though?
A salesperson, one. And two would be a strong operations lead. That can take care of or be the bridge between myself, my business partner, and what happens day to day with our managing partners. So those would be the two people I think we could strongly implement.
Gotcha. How do you say, Donnie? Question for you: how would you advise to go about finding someone to kind of bring tighter operations to his team? Obviously, it's easier to find, I guess, salespeople than it is somebody who has a mind for operations. Yes.
Sure. So, I mean, it's a real job, right? It's a real job that needs to be posted on real job boards. But there are a couple of things that you need to do first. Number one, so let's be clear. Your company has generated $4 million plus. So you know what you're doing, right? Now we're just looking to ramp that up. And I'm really impressed that you did that without an operations person or an integrator in place. Let me say that first. The first thing that you need to do is construct your organizational chart. Your organizational chart, starting first with the visionary, which would be yourself. It sounds like you are the mastermind behind this idea. You know where you want to take the company. You talked about, we know that you introduced the idea of maybe preparing the company for sales. You are the visionary. You are the person with the creative concept. You're probably great at problem solving on a business scale. You build the relationships, I'm assuming, with these other, with everyone that you have involved in the process. Your integrator, there's two people who are typically the head of the company: the visionary, which is usually the CEO, and then your integrator, which is usually your COO. And they are the person that can take your vision and carry it out. They are the person that you can say, hey, this is where we're going. I need you to lead. I need you to manage. I need you to hold the team accountable. I need you to plug in and fill in the gaps and make this all make sense. Okay? Now, what you want to do, the very first thing that you want to do is determine what needs to be delegated first. Because it's not always at your revenue range, you definitely need an operations person in place. But what I want you to do is literally write down every single thing that has to happen in your business every single day in order to, number one, operate the business, but then also push it forward. Every single thing. And this is a task. This is tasking. It may take you some time to write down all those things. Then I want you to make sure of the current people that you have on team right now, that you have the right people in the right role, right? We want to make sure we have the right people in the right role. Real quick question. Let me get off tangent. I saw someone text this turn-key to this 202 number. Cav, is that you?
I didn't put it in there, but I'm sure somebody on my team may have done it.
Okay.
Yeah, like she's going hard, so I figured it was her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you may already have this in place, but while I see that, before I forget, make sure you set it up, turn dash key, turn without the dash key, and then just turn key. Because we got to assume that people are going to receive it differently and remember it differently. And whatever they text, they'll get it. All right, so we are creating now a list of everything that has to be done in the business, right? And I want you to circle the things on that list that you do very, very well. These are the roles that you're taking ownership of, and you do it very, very well. It is not consistently overwhelming or tasking. It is your role. This is your jam. Then I want you to group similar activities. So if it's like hire, fire, interview, those are similar roles, right? And so you can get a highlighter and maybe all those, categorize them. All pink things are related to human resources. All yellow things are related to customer service. What you then want to do is decide, what do I need the most of right away? Right? Right now, you need someone who's continuing to push revenue. You need to make more money. So we need a salesperson. We need to get you out of that role so that you can be focused on growing and developing the business. You also identify that you need an operations person. Well, according to this list, what do I need them to do? And then once you begin to identify the role, then we can find the people, okay? So you want to identify the goal. Before you hire, you'll need a job description, a role description for every single role. I don't just need a salesperson. I need a salesperson who's going to come in. They're available to work these hours. They are familiar with my CRM or my sales system. They are strong with follow-up. They have a 30% or greater closing ratio. And I know I'm going fast. You'll be able to catch the playback on this. Maybe they have a 30% closing ratio. Maybe they are familiar. Maybe you're looking for someone who was previously a leasing manager or a leasing consultant because they've already kind of worked in this space. So they understand the importance and the value in an Airbnb. Like, really write down what this role should include. And then your operations person is someone who you will be very involved with on a day-to-day basis. So what kind of person gels with your personality? Where do you fall short and where do you need them to be strong? What does their day-to-day look like? You will need to think all of these things through, and then we actually post a job. Whether it is on it's slipping my mind, whether it's on Career Builder or Monster, if they're still using that, or, wherever it is that you're posting the job, maybe LinkedIn, you're looking for jobs there. Right within your community, sometimes also you can find people who are great fits for these jobs. Once you've identified that, you post a job. As you're starting to get resumes in, you're able to really say, okay, here's the job description. Here's what the role requires. This person's resume doesn't measure up. Nope, next. And you keep going, and then you take them through a series of interviews and bring them on. There are also agencies, Coach, that will do this stuff for you. So if you're not great in this space, there are also agencies, especially for sales teams and things like that. I actually own and operate one that will help you put those things in place. That was a lot. Am I giving you too much?
No, I'm writing. Good stuff. No, I'm writing. I'm very attentive here to what you're saying. I think in the military we call that an SOP. As much as we do it on a day-to-day basis, and we have this structure around everything we do, I would say I should know better.
That's actually what we call it in business too. SOPs, your standard operating procedures. But here's the thing. Here's the trick. You don't really have good systems in place yet. So this isn't the advice that I would give everybody, but this is the advice that I'm going to give you based on where your business is and what you do and don't have in place. You need a second in command. You need an integrator to come in and help you put some systems in place so that the two of you can create some good SOPs. Because the SOPs that you have or the SOPs that you would create right now will be based on some pretty bad systems, right? And we don't want to waste our time doing that. So I would likely look for my operations person or my integrator first. You may not even find the operations the COO necessarily, but you might find an operations manager or a business manager who understands systems and automations, and let's get them in place first so they can help you think through some of these basic systems and processes and workflows. And then you guys spend a couple of months, seriously, a couple of months putting these systems together. Like, okay, where do the leads come from? Where do the leads go? What happens on the calls? After we have the call, what do we do with the leads? When they're ready to move forward, what's the process for that? When they have a maintenance issue, what's the process for that? Let's get these systems in place. And then it will make your job at hiring people so much easier, because you're going to be hiring people that are qualified to execute your standards and your processors. Or processes. I think I said processors.
Awesome. That was a lot.
Let me know if I need to slow down. This is my jam right here.
No, that's why I fall back and I let Dottie get into her system stuff. Oh, she's a monster at it.
Listen, this is what we do. Let me know though, Cav, if you need me to go over something again.
No, so just a quick recap. The systems first are systems integrated to help build the infrastructure and a framework for the systems that go in place. And then once we understand, once that's in place, we then better understand who we need to then run and hire and then run this on a day-to-day basis.
That is exactly it. So you're right. Who can I get to help me think through these processes and workflows? Then it's the how. Their job is to help you figure out how we're going to integrate these workflows, and then we're going to get the right people in the seats. And sometimes it takes a while, right? Sometimes it takes a while. It took me almost 2 years to find my integrator. But in the process, in the meantime, I had coaches and accountability partners who understood systems and processes and were able to make some strong recommendations that I was able to contract people, to kind of help me with. So even if you don't find that operations person or integrator right away, maybe you want to explore coaching and going through some of those things and just figuring out what needs to happen, and then just hiring people, contracting people to handle a specific job. And as you're going through that, you'll begin to attract the right integrator or operator to you.
Would you recommend using services like Fiverr, Upwork to source some of the smaller tasks? Start to build a framework around some of this.
Yeah, I like both platforms, but you do have to be really careful. So I recommend services like Fiverr and Upwork and FreeUp to people who are on top of it. So if you are on top of it and you know exactly what you want and exactly what you need, and you can give great instruction, then yes, those kind of services work. But because all they typically are freelancers who are very, very great in these things, making extra money, and they're using those platforms to market. But they can also sometimes get just a little bit lazy if they, because there's not a whole lot of two-way communication. So if you're really on top of it and great at managing the process, yes. If not, I would recommend that you find someone off the platform that you can probably have a little bit more interaction with, and they're really, really, really skilled in getting the job done. It just really depends on your personality type. This isn't a plug for me whatsoever, but you should be in my mastermind. You should be a part of my inner circle. We get you whipped into shape really, really quickly. You can email me about that too.
All right. Education is tax deductible.
I know we have something next. Where's Dave at? Dave, come on. What are we doing?
I am here. I'm you see all that camera switching? That's me being a producer, baby.
Listen, producer.
Let me get in my bag. You know what I mean? You see these comments coming up? That's me.
I love it. You're doing very great, Dave.
Thanks.
By the way.
I appreciate it. You know what I mean? I can do something around here.
Okay, Coach, tell me. I know we've moved through a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
If I were coaching you, I would never have you execute on all these things at the same time. Okay?
Right.
I would ask you to create some type of a flow for this, and let's start with, what's most important. And not knowing a whole lot about your own strengths, you're going to have to look at this list of things that you have to do and really understand, because even with these systems, you can get all these systems. You can get Active Campaign, you can use Calendly, you can use ClickFunnels, but if they're not integrated the right way, then you're not maximizing the platforms, right? And they're not giving you exactly, you're not getting the best of them. So you want to make sure that you or someone is qualified to really handle this and think it through. What we have the capacity to give you right now are the resources and the tools that you need. But then obviously, once we're off of this call, you have to figure out, okay, she gave me a whole lot, where do I start? Where do I really, really start? And God, my suggestion would really be email me, right? In terms of execution. But you're a sharp individual. You are a super sharp individual. So there are a lot of these things that you can figure out on your own. These are seriously the platforms that you need to do it. Because of where you are, though, from a revenue standpoint, sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. Sometimes you have to slow down to speed up. And I really urge you to slow down right now, and let's get some SOPs and some processes together, and then take off. Like before, I know one of the things that you wanted to talk about was preparing your business for sale. We're not ready yet. We're not there. You're bringing in the revenue. You have a proven model, but your systems are so out of whack, and your team structure probably is too, that an investor wouldn't touch it. Let's get it up. Let's get it. Let's get
Right. No, good stuff. I appreciate the feedback, and I'll be certain to email you once the smoke clears here.
Yes. Can we,
Dave? Al, how you feel? How do you
Good.
feel?
Good. The information and the value, just you can't find it in this capacity anywhere. So to have an opportunity to have this one-on-one, and spill our beans, right? What we do, how we do it, and get some feedback on what we do good and what we do bad is exactly what I signed up for. So
awesome.
Yeah.
We delivered, Dottie. Well,
we delivered.
Well, you delivered. You delivered. I just pulled the comments up. You know what I mean? I was just the background dancer tonight. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at that.
Hey, listen, everybody plays a role, which is why Dave and I make such a great team. Seriously, we have our SOPs together. Like, we put together a whole SOP literally an hour before our very first Brain Picker podcast. But we understand where each other thrives, and we know when to fall back, which is what we do so effortlessly. And if you have the ability to find that in your own business model, like, it makes it so much easier. But we have to get these processes in place. Like, we have to make things easier. What do we process? What do we automate? Anything that happens over and over and over again. Calls getting booked, interest calls being made, appointments being made, collection of money, all of those things need to be automated. Anything that we're doing. So you may even need to sit down and, like, remember I told you, write down everything. Let's go ahead and put a star next to anything. Like, this happens every single day, or with every deal, this always has to happen. And let's go ahead and get that automated.
Absolutely. All right. I feel like even if you, like, your cup is full right now, there's no, if you got some other questions, we're here 100%. But I know it's a lot of stuff you got to execute on. The good news is your team can go back, and I would definitely make it mandatory that your team goes back and watch the video. Like, let's y'all hear some feedback from somewhere? That's weird.
I don't.
Have your team go back and, like, watch this video. So it'll be live on YouTube for you to check it out. Okay. Good. Anything else, man?
So last thing would be, I guess, from a funding standpoint. Just right now in the model, we don't have a lot of overhead because it doesn't cost us anything to take a lease rate. And then once we package them, we bring investors into them. So we've never really sought to leverage funding from outside sources or even business credit, which are some of the very basics. So based on just the model, the structure, and not leveraging that in any capacity right now, what advice would you have or recommendations would you have to potentially do that?
Every business should be leveraging other people's money. Doesn't matter how high or how low your overhead is, it's the access. And I have learned this recently, just in recent years, it's the access. And if anything, like especially like economic fallout, pandemics, if we learn anything from that, is that we need access to money to use at our own leisure. There are things like PPP loans and SBA loans, but you're still governed in how you can use them. And we see people getting in so much trouble, and those are great resources. But especially in your industry, I would absolutely recommend that you secure business funding, and you can get it from all kinds of places. Do you have any business credit right now?
Yes.
Okay, and a pretty good Paydex score?
We
Yes?
use a lot of Amazon and and Wayfair. So
Okay.
Can I ask you a question real quick? So
Mhm.
let's say it's $20,000. I'm an investor. It's 20,000. How do you collect? Is it 20 grand up front? Is it broken down? What are you doing in that?
It depends on the timeline. So if we're more than 60 days out, they'll have two milestones where we'll take a portion of the funds up front to cover admin costs, and then once
So
the interior design,
let's say real numbers. It's called. You're quoting me 20,000.
Mhm.
What do I have to give you today?
I'd probably say about 7 up front
Okay.
in milestone 1, and then the remainder in milestone 2.
And what's that based on though?
Admin costs. So our admin costs to get started with the overhead, rent, deposit, and utilities, permit requirements, anything administratively required to get the process started. That's what's factored into milestone 1. Milestone 2 are vendor requirements and furnishings and photos, all the back end stuff required to finish each property.
What I think. So it seems like you're not necessarily quoting based on a standard formula, right?
It is because the line items don't change. It's just the amount based on the property that changes. But your line item for rent, deposit, vendor costs, utilities, permits, those remain the same.
Yeah.
The numbers just change based on the property and the cost.
I think, and Donnie, you could probably chime in on this, but I think if you're having like there are like certain cash flow issues, we need to like start requiring a certain percentage of it up front, and then the next percentage, because there's probably a bottleneck there too, right? Because we got to before I figure out how much I got to collect from you, I got to figure out how much all the stuff costs. Then I figure that out. Instead of all the stuff, let's just say, my business model is it's not going to cost us greater than 30%. Meaning we're going to take 40% up front. Whatever the number is, how much it's going to cost. If it's 60,000, I need 40% up front. It just is what it is. Based on a percentage, so that it takes the guesswork out of figuring out the line items, then collecting money based on the line items.
Yeah, I agree. You need to standardize your intake process, and that includes the payments. It can be percentage based, it can be a fixed cost, but you definitely need to standardize that.
100%.
Okay.
Or you're like, all right, well, for us to begin it, it's 10,000 up front. and then we go get all the figures, and then like you got to pay for those figures. Let's say we're gonna get this type of couch, this type of table, this type of bed, all that kind of stuff. You gave me the 10 to start the process. That's I get my profit first, and then you are going to have to pay for that. So however long it's going to take for you to get your money, like get it furnished, you got to get it furnished. But I got my money first. Make sense? And you probably won't have as many cash flow issues. Because it seems like the numbers, we might get the numbers wrong, and then somehow we're running out of money. And now I got to go get some funding. But you need to get your money first. Yeah. Make sense?
It looks like you want to say something to that.
Yeah, I think I don't know that we have a cash flow problem. I certainly agree on the structure, the standardization of percentage of whatever it is, whatever the amount is, maybe to standardize that portion of it. But I guess just the remaining structure of how the funds come in. I mean, I guess in my opinion, it works because we send an invoice out, and 90% of them it's just one payment. Only in rare occasions where it's a project that's far out do we break it up. But if I were to send you an invoice, Dave, today, it's going to have a due date of tomorrow. So I'm going to be expecting you to send me $50,000 in a wire, and that's it.
So you're saying the whole amount up front?
In 90% of the cases, they're only broken up if the project is more than 90 days out.
Okay. But yeah, so I was only giving you that answer based off you saying, I said, how much do I give you right now? You said, well, it's based on admin stuff.
Yeah, and that's for a far out project. If it's within 90 days, then it's one shot, right?
Okay.
You're coming in with one invoice for everything.
Gotcha. All right. Well,
Okay.
Scratch everything I just said from the record. You know what I mean? Just take all the money up front. You know what I mean?
But you still need to be, even though you're cash heavy on the front end, it still is smart business for you to utilize business credit and business funding for the rewards, for the relief that it gives your money right now. Like what I was getting at was just even in this time frame, so many entrepreneurs just couldn't survive the pandemic because they're making a whole lot of money, they're bringing it in, but then here comes a pandemic that none of us could plan or budget for, and now because we hadn't built any credit and banks are kind of holding off because we don't know what's going on in the world. Now we're in a situation where we have to use our cash, and maybe using our cash with reduced intake on revenue, and it just puts us into this place where we can't build our business. David and I and other people were able to just navigate through this pandemic really without a whole lot of issue because we keep our costs down and we know how to leverage other resources.
Facts.
Yeah, that's definitely a point of need in the business to work on that and leverage it.
Good.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you have like the Amazon accounts and things like that. Is that really the main gist of your business? Do you have any major bank accounts or funding?
Right. We have it's a structured LLC where there's several LLCs underneath that all have a specific role. Each of those have a business bank account tied to it, and they perform a very specific service. So anything that goes out for interior design stuff's linked to one account. That account's linked to Amazon Wayfair for to order that stuff, resupply stuff for day-to-day stuff.
Sure. I mean more so. So it sounds like you have a holding company. Have you established a trust?
No.
Okay. A company bringing in what you're bringing in, especially because you're dealing with property-based assets, I would absolutely recommend that you protect your assets and establish a trust. And then when I asked about business accounts, I don't mean just like the DBA accounts. with Amazon and things like that. I'm talking like Chase and American Express and private funding, things like that, that you can leverage with large limits or are limitless.
Yeah, the two accounts, Navy Federal Business account and Wells Fargo. But again, as I mentioned, we've got a pretty solid record with both banks, but we've never leveraged or utilized any funding from each either.
Yeah, and do it. And typically with the funding, as long as you pay it back within, the same period that you used it, it doesn't cost you anything to do it. So use it and start establishing these relationships. So when and if you need bigger funding or the rewards attached to it, you have proof of usage. So even if, you have to put $10,000 on your Amex, you can pay that right back immediately. Let it sit 2 or 3 days, process it, and just pay it off. It makes you attractive. And then you're talking too about selling your company in the future. They want to see how you have you got to prove certain things. You have to show your financials. You got to show how you handled and managed debt. They want to see these things from you, and you want to present them a business where you were using other people's cash flow. So it's an even more interesting deal for them too. And then obviously when you start getting into, right now, you're not running any ads or anything like that. When you start running ads and you're in like testing phase and you're not necessarily breaking even just yet, you don't want your money on the line for that. You want to leverage some other funding options for that, for sure.
Okay.
All right. We good? Has it been valuable for you?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Have to pick all on our brain. Just pick it all over our brain. That's good.
I love it. What's your biggest takeaway from tonight's session?
The structure around automation, and then the need, right, to make sure you understand who, and then building SOPs around them to build a base to grow out from.
Yes. It is my hope that you are able to take this information and hit the ground running. But it is the reality that you're going to need some support in doing that. So don't overwhelm yourself trying to be the who to figure out all the hows. Reach out, okay?
Sweet. All right, man. Thank you so much. Has this been valuable, though? It's been valuable for you?
100%.
Good. Well, I do want to let you know that this is going to be live on YouTube. So that means the clock is ticking on your success. We got to go take some of this stuff, implement this stuff. I want to see a DM that says, yo, I got my SOPs in place. I hired my sales team. I'm no longer on the call selling people. I want to see that, man. I want to see that.
Sounds like I just need to send an email to get started. So.
Hey, whatever it takes. We're going to make, because we got to come back. We have to come full circle and be able to bring you back up in a couple of months and show the success of what this session has attributed to your business.
Absolutely. So thank you so much, man. Anything you want to close us out with?
Thank you guys, one, and then for those that are listening, if you're interested in what we do, just simply text the word turnkey.
Hold on, real quick, bro, real quick. Make me want to buy. Just step out. I know you in your officer mode, but it's not if they want to like work with you. You need to tell them if your money is not making its own money and you're the only person making your own money, you need to text turnkey to. Let's try this again, man. Let's try it again. Right. Let's go.
One more time.
Okay. And we'll give it a shot here. So if you're a busy professional, right, or investor, and you're looking to invest passively, grow your income portfolio, and you're interested in Airbnb, we provide a do-it-for-you service. The way you can get in touch with us, simply text the word turnkey to 202-918-5027. It'll pull you into our turnkey community where you can get a look at current and future investment opportunities.
Absolutely. There it is. Coach, we're looking forward to your success story, man. Thank you so much for joining us, man. And everybody's watching you, so go kill it, all right?
Awesome. Thanks for the value you guys provide, and I'll look forward to growing with you.
My man.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We wish you the best and hope to hear from you soon. I love it. I love it. I love it. Episode 2.
Damn, shouts out to Kim. Kim said both episodes fire. I got something, Wells. Several somethings from both. Awesome. Good stuff. Yeah, man.
Dave, I really think, I'm reading the comments, right? Typically, I wouldn't say this, but I see it in the comments, and I've seen it a couple of times. Like, I believe we're shifting the culture.
Oh, for sure. Ain't nobody doing this.
I believe we're shifting you have to, obviously, you got to make an investment to be featured on the Brain Picker podcast, right? You do. You just do. But would you agree that the people who have made investments, maybe you've seen both of the episodes so far, would you agree that they got more than their money's worth? Like, we're not giving the fluff.
Absolutely. Straight to it. And it's really, really cool, man. And this is a major reason we're doing it, not only to coach, but so that everybody else in the world can see what these entrepreneurs have going on. And really, one of the biggest issues in entrepreneurship is, one, we're not willing to pay for information. Listen, everything changed for me when I started investing in my education. So like this is like some game changing stuff right here on one end, but the second end, I know it's some people going to hit up Al like, yo, I'm interested in that business. I'm in, like the first episode, I'm interested in buying some of those bags. Like this is what it's for. We are truly bringing the community together. We got the high level interviews going on, Social Proof podcast, and then we come back here and we're helping entrepreneurs saying, listen, I need help. And they're not willing, they're willing to share the information live. So I'm excited, Donnie. How do they reach out? Because I don't know if we got a whole lot of slots.
We don't have a whole lot of slots. So I think we have 6 slots left in this sequence that we're doing right now. So if you want to be featured on the Brain Picker podcast and get coaching specific to your business, straight to the meat of what you need. The link isn't easy to access just yet. Go to my bio on Instagram or David's bio on Instagram, and he'll go back to the board there really quickly and show you what our Instagram channels are. And if you click the link, you will be able to just go where it says both of us. It says the same thing. Pick me and David's brain, or pick me and Donnie's brain, right there at Sleep is for Suckers or at Donnie Wiggins _, and you will be able to schedule your appointment to pick our brains. It's super easy to do. Don't miss this opportunity. Everybody wants to get coached, right? You should want to get coached. You want to take your business to the next level. Like, we really have a heart for serving in this space. And I don't know. I mean, I think we've proven that we kind of know what we're doing.
Absolutely. Man. So by the time somebody's reading this, you probably can go to brainpickerpodcast.com. By the time you see this, and we'll have it up and running, man. But we threw it out there. Everybody said, yo, we want to do it. So we did it. We executed. So we will be back a few times this week. So stay tuned. Make sure y'all are subscribed to the channel and you got your notifications on, because you never know. We're just going to pop up and we're going to be doing a session that you can eat from. All right?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go.
Oh, say it again, Coach. Say it again.
It's tax deductible.
And it's tax deductible. You know what I mean? Like, let's stay focused, all right? It's tax deductible.
And it's tax deductible.
Well, look, man, we are out of here. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. Donnie.
Hey, wait, real quick, Dave. I'm so sorry. I don't want to cut you off, but we got a bunch of people asking how they can get into one of my programs and a bunch of people asking how they can get into one of your programs. And what's the best thing? Are we just sending them straight to Instagram?
Let's share it.
Let's share it. All right. So you can network with me. Dave and I actually got some stuff going on at the same time. Pick what's best for you right now. It's all love. It's all good. You'll have an opportunity to work with us both. You can just kind of go and find out everything that I have going on 2 ways. The first way is by sending me a text message, 404-737-2767. 404-737-2767. You might not know what you need. It is okay. Just text me, Donnie. I was on the Brain Picker podcast. I need something. Point me in the right direction. Me or my team will help you do that. Or you can also just kind of see a menu of what I have available by going to the link in my bio. And that is the word six, SIX, six-figure accelerator edu.com/links. /links will take you to everything that I have, all of the resources that I have available for you. Six-figure accelerator edu.com/links. Let's go.
Absolutely. And y'all know, I see some people in the 8 a.m. crew. We have the morning meetup, themorningmeetup.com. I'm right here every morning, Monday through Friday. And literally, if you join the morning meetup, go to themorningmeetup.com. It's only $1 trial. Tomorrow morning and every day this week, you will see over 600 entrepreneurs gathered together to learn entrepreneurship. We do this every day, Monday through Friday. It's $79 a month, but I'm so confident that you're going to enjoy it that you get $1 trial. If you like it, you can stay. If you want to leave, you can leave. But either way, you need to be a part of this community. Literally, people from all across the country. I promise you, there will be over 600 people live in little boxes that you will see. Not a webinar, not a presentation. How the chat is going crazy right now, there's literally hundreds of people that you can see every day, and we have the most powerful book club in the country. All of us are reading the same book at the same time. No matter when you join the morning meetup, you can jump into the book that we're reading or, get the next book that we're preparing for. So go to themorningmeetup.com, themorningmeetup.com, themorningmeetup.com.
Dave, I'm nervous.
Why are you nervous?
I'm super nervous because we've already run the Social Proof podcast up to number 1.
Yeah.
And there's something like, I'm a manifester. I can see it before it actually happens. Brain Picker is about to fly past it.
That's a fact.
Brain Picker is about to fly past it, and understanding what that means, you guys, not just coming on here and getting coached. I guarantee you that both of the people that we've had on so far are going to get business. Because who wants to go out there and beat the pavement and trying to sneak through the system to put up your Airbnb when somebody else has already figured it out? You just pay him to plug and play. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? You get all this exposure. There are people who want to do business with you. There are also people within our network that want to invest with you. The Brain Picker podcast is
and tomorrow you'll see it on your app. We haven't launched the audio just yet, but all these audios you'll be able to just throw them on your app or whatever. So just be looking out to search tomorrow Brain Picker podcast. If you're listening to this tomorrow, then just go to Brain Picker podcast and make sure you subscribe. And y'all can catch us every Thursday on the Social Proof podcast. So if you're not, you can go to the Social Proof podcast on your phone right now. Right now, Social Proof Podcast. Go to the Social Proof Podcast and hit follow. Hit follow on your Apple or Spotify device. Oh, man. Maybach 650 said, Donnie is so fine.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, what's your text number again?
You too, Dave. It's okay. You married, so they just doing it out of respect.
I know I'm fine. My wife think I'm fine.
You're what we call a faff, okay? I can't say the words, but you know what I mean? You got this. Dre know what she got over there. One more time, the text number is 404-737-2767 to get in contact with me, and Dave's is
404-737-4935. Text me, 404-737-4935. All right? We are out of here, Donnie. Until next time. We got a couple more this week, right? We got a couple more this week. So make sure y'all subscribe to this channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to this channel so that you can be notified when we go live with somebody, and you can tune into that coaching session right there. All right? Yeah. We out here. We are out here. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Bye.